I know that you can't keep up, you need to watch your step. I hustle like a DJ, I'm the voice of the streets. Don't let Slim make you think I ain't thick with the heat. All my macaronis on me green like the lettuce. Talking sheep, fuck what you heard, debit or credit. I discovered the chase, bank up with the wordplay. Royal flush every track, jack, step a black spade. Digging into these bitches like it ain't nothing. Running through the frost when you see reality coming, gunning. I'm dumping, no frontin', my bustin' just keep it jumping. Now I'm buzzing, so my duffel bag isn't up for discussion. Think I'm playing when I say it, but you feel it. No need for speculation, motherfucker, I'm a realist. And if you need the time just to figure it out, you can find me on the ground until I'm over and out. Yeah. So it's going on. I'm always turning up. You got my dough.
Hustle Man in the building, man. I got a great guest, a veteran, a legend in the game, Moji Sola Adu. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Hustle. Thank you for having me.
Yo, it's with a great honor in this country right now, especially today. You are a veteran. You served in the military, and you repped up for the women around the world and around the country. We salute you. I salute you. Let everybody know what it's like to be a woman in the military.
Being a woman in the military, it's not an easy job. I mean, there is no a woman does this, a man does that. We all go through the same training. Mm-hmm. Some training are rougher than others. Right. It's all about what the military, what you can make out of the military, because, you know, everybody goes in for different purposes. Some people go in because they're running away from something. Some people are going in because they want to serve the country. Right. And some people just look at it as a form of making money and starting a career because they had no other choice. Or and for some foreigners and some people, because I am a daughter of a foreigner and I am of Nigerian descent, sometimes, you know, you are the only hope for your entire family. So a lot of people rely on you. So there's a lot, but, you know, the history of women soldiers, we've served years ago. There was a young lady, it doesn't catch me her name, but she actually went in during the time with the Buffalo Soldiers. Oh, okay. And she went and signed in under alias as a man, but she was a woman, and she served. Women served during the Buffalo Soldiers, Civil War. You have women of all colors that have served in the military, and we also went to Europe. There was sometimes back in the day when, you know, for African American women, they were called, back in the day before me, they were called WACs. These were like the first women doing like in the Army Corps. And those women, they set the standard back then. You know, and some of these women, you know, they were going all the way to a certain point of getting, you know, high ranking and stuff until like later on. You know, when things started to change a little bit, you know, people dealt with some racism and stuff. But other than that, the military has always been diverse. Women bring a different perspective to the military. They serve from the Marines. At one point, you know, women couldn't get into the Marines, but women serve in the Marines. Women have graduated from West Point, one of the most elite schools for a lot of women in the military. You know, the Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard, and the Army myself, you know, and you know, at one point when we were first going in, a lot of women couldn't be on the front line. But the crazy part is that women had been on the front line. Right. You know, whether you know, it's only like in the newer times when they're saying, oh, women can't serve. But, you know, like I said earlier, there was an African American woman that went in under the alias as a man and served on the front line. Even some of our Caucasian counterforce young ladies, they were out there. Some of them were out the front line cooking meals for the soldiers, you know, on the front line. Some of them even, you know, were holding cannons. Right. You know, so they're starting to discover all these different things. Women have served proudly through the years, and they continue to serve proudly. There's so many things that women we deal, you know, same PTSD as men, but some women sometimes have dealt with military sexual trauma, which I'm a survivor of. And, you have the case of Vanessa Guillen and many other females. Legislation is working hard, and women are still protesting to make sure that, they are taken care of. During the Me Too movement, things had been happening in the military, but, we're a close-knit family, as you may say. So they try to handle stuff within the military. But sometimes, things fall through and they don't always do what they need to do. But, they're working hard to change that with legislation. And as we continue to grow as a network, as a community, as military, and bringing more awareness to also let people that haven't served see that we're not only, we're not just soldiers, we're not just a number, we're human beings too. We have feelings. And we've been trained, but we know we are also regular citizens that serve in our community and try to serve the best that we can. I served honorably, and I just, I am thankful to all my brothers and sisters from all branches. Thank you.
Came with a whole line of candy, like, this is what it is. It's this way, this way, that way. But look, check this out. Like some of the movies put women way to the left or way to the right, never in the middle. And I know firsthand that women have really done a great job in the military. Tell me about when you got to the military. Did every woman there, different colors, stick together? Or were you in a clique with the sisters? Or were you in a clique with some other African sisters? Or did you guys say, we're women, we're going to stick together?
Honestly, when I got in there was no, when I first went in with boot camp and everything, there was technically no race to me. Okay. When we got in there, we all were trying to get through training and survive. So it's like we're here together. This is my sister. And one thing I can say about military sisters, no matter if we haven't talked to each other for years, we're still like, hey, man, you're my sister. So it's never been a color line. I think now in this new age, people are looking at it as more of a color line. But when we were training and when you're out there in war and your life is on the line, or you're doing or if you're doing a mission and it's home base, still serving those that are across the sea, you guys are together at the end of the day.
That's what's up. What did you take from the military? When after everything you learned from the military, what did you take from it when you came back home? What was your mindset when you came? When you hit the ground running? What were you thinking about when you took from the military?
Well, before, I was dealing with, some depression and some other things like that or whatever when I got out, because I dealt with MST and my trauma. Right. But as I went through my journey of healing, one thing I can say I can always take away. In the military, you got a plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. And after plan D don't work, then you got to call on God. You always call on God. But, the thing about it is that one thing with the military is get it done no matter what. Okay. If you don't know it, figure it out. Everybody has the ability to do anything and accomplish anything if they truly sit there and believe in themselves. So that's one thing. Another one is integrity. Do the right thing. Integrity, whether I do business with you, whether you're my friend, doing the right thing, integrity, and always have your buddies back. No soldier left behind. Making sure you take care of your people and take care of your soldiers. And that's why I try to do that as being an advocate for veterans.
Okay, I mean, when you came out to LA and you seen some homeless veterans out there, I remember the guy who was holding a sign. You were like, you was like, whoa, hold on, this is real. This is something to me. What are you doing for the homeless veterans in your vicinity right now? I mean, they're around everywhere. I know you're trying to help all you can, but just in the DMV area, what are you guys doing out there to help veterans who are homeless?
Well, I do some consulting with the DC Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs, and they do provide a lot of resources every single day. They're a one-stop shop for everything you need for veterans. So they provide resources. Sometimes they have resources for clothing, food, housing, and things of that nature, making sure they have proper housing, also making sure that they have connections with medical care at the DC VA, because a lot of people sometimes forget, to get checked up, And then also, I'm also with the Greenbelt Rotary Club. We're also doing food drive and collection to give to people in the area that are in need and need food. I also, with She Wins, my organization, we collect, when we do events, we collect money and different resources to help women that are in need, homeless women, veterans, because I myself was a former homeless woman veteran with my child. And I told myself I would never be there again. And as long as I'm breathing, I will make sure that I can do something for homeless women, veterans, veterans in general, and their children, because sometimes they forget their kids. There's a lot of women veterans or families that are not allowed to be in some of these shelters because they don't have the facility for the children. So I think that's one thing that, Congress and a lot of these VAs are working on to better serve the people.
Yeah, I see a lot of stuff on TV, like in LA, Skid Row. There's veterans everywhere, and I'm sure they want to help veterans get off the street. I mean, and there are programs out there, but I think that the veterans are not served correctly. I think they need more help, they need more support, and somebody like yourself is doing a great job of that. So I applaud you on that. I see you popping up on the internet. Yeah, you have a book out right now. Talk about that book. What's going on with it? Because I see you smiling, and you on the boards and other ladies, and I'm like, what's really going on? So now that I have you here at my service, so talk to us about the book that you wrote.
Okay, so this is a book called Polishing Your Jewels. And this book is comprised of several different phenomenal women. And it's all about what made you become the woman that you are today. We all deal with trauma. You don't have to be in the military to go through trauma or PTSD. So how did you take that and transform that into your strength?
Wow.
So I am on page 57 of the book.
Nice.
And the title of mine is called Becoming My Own Phenomenal Woman. And it talks about my story, dealing with trauma, but also talking about that, how can you transform your failure, right? As a leader and as we go through a life, right? And I call failure, people call it failure, but I call it research and development. Why? Because as business owners, and big businesses, when something doesn't work out, what do? They go back to the drawing board and they reinvent it, or people reinvent themselves. They do rebranding, or they do the research, right, to find out what's better in the market, and they do market research, right? So true. I said, at the end of the day, how can you be a failure if you're constantly developing?
There it is.
Exactly.
That's true. You only fail when you give up.
Exactly. And I have one thing. So I sat on the advisory board at the DC Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs. Yeah. And when we did, we were creating the logo and design for the Women's Veterans License Plate. So this is the logo we came up with. Nice. So this is another honor that I was very proud of, to help do that. And we also wrote a proclamation for Women's Veterans Day twice. Last year and the year before last, I was able to do that. So we're making heavily strides, and the book is the first book, but I'll be writing another book focused on MST, not just MST, but also trauma as people, and not just sitting on just how the trauma takes us down, or depression, but how can we rise from that and break that and transfer that into a strength, right. Not a weakness, but a strength, so us to persevere, because we have the grit and tenacity to do anything that we want. Exactly. And not letting our trauma or our fears be our cripple or our chains.
There's so many young women out there who are being misled by, some of the music I hear today. And you're a leader and you're a person who helps people. How would you tell someone if they want to go to school, or what advice would you give someone to uplift them in their depressive state, if they have a depressive state, or if they don't understand where they want to go in life? What advice would you give young ladies or young women around the world listening to us right now?
I just want to say, ladies, queens that are listening, every setback is a setup for a step up. It's never too late. And as my mom says, things change, people change, life change. Things will never stay the same, and we have to become adaptable. And it's never too late. You got women at 90 years old going back to school. You got people that, that have Down syndrome that are graduating and getting their college degrees. It's never too late to do anything, and anything that we admire and anything else and everybody else, we already have in us because God has already gave it to us. We just have to tap into it. And you are amazing and wonderful. All you have to do is just take the leap because you already have it in you.
Yeah. Give out all your information, like where the people can find you. Tell them Instagram, mainly your websites, because that's where they can really find you at, because that's where you do your best work. She's on almost every day doing interviews with celebrities, boxers, models, other actors, and people of stature in her in her area. So young ladies, follow them up. Give her your information.
So everybody, you can check me out. You can go at Lush Radio on Instagram, Twitter. You can go to www.lushradioonline.net. Or you can also follow She Wins Network on Facebook, the business page, or you can join our group, She Wins Network and Cohort on Facebook, and She Wins on Instagram. And, definitely check us out for more encouragement, check out interviews, and also support Hustle and everything he does because he is remarkable. And look out because me and him are working on a book soon to come. So look out for that.
Surprise. Yo, at the end of the day, what makes you laugh?
Oh man, simple things, just being goofy.
I know, but everybody who don't know you, but what makes you laugh besides some of the stuff that I say on the phone?
I mean, you're always a comedian making me laugh, but I don't even want to go political right now. I don't even want to go there. But sometimes it's even corny, like little jokes and stuff, little stuff, just makes me laugh. I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey and
something else,
and just a lot of TikTok has a lot of funny stuff. I'm watching this guy Norman, and he is hilarious. But I'm loving these up and coming young people that are like on TikTok, and they are just hilarious. The stuff and the little skits they do just crack me up. So yeah,
it's a lot of talented people out there, and I steal some of their jokes, and I just think about it and rewrote it in my head and say it, and they come out crazy. But sometimes it's just because I'm a thinker, so I'm like, man, what should I say? I'm gonna say that next time I talk to him. Oh, there it is. It's just something real crazy.
Exactly.
And in the climate of hip hop, what song has moved you over this last 8 months?
Oh man, oof. I think it was Teyana Taylor's song. I think it's "We Made It" or something like that. That song. Just like looking at all the things that we've been through, because sometimes we be like, oh my God, am I stagnated? And you just look back and you just look at pictures, look at all the things you've done, and you're like, wow, I really did a lot. And then this other song called "Victory." God, I forgot what it's not Victory, the rap song, but it's a gospel song called Victory.
Okay.
It's like, by the hands of the Almighty, I've been set free. You've been delivering me complete. So that song has been my anthem through the whole entire year. Okay. Just telling me that this is our season, and we got to keep moving, and no matter what comes our way, we can win. We can win because we've been through the worst days of our lives and we're still winning. We got breath in our body. That means we still got hope.
Man, yeah. And lastly, what's your favorite movie of the year that you've seen? Streaming or I know you went to theaters. If you have, you better not tell nobody. So, favorite movie. I'm
not going to say it's my favorite movie. I'm going to say that it was... it really blew my mind. There's a movie with Janelle Monáe called Antebellum. I think it's the same people that produced with Key and Peele. They came with the Get Out, Us, and everything like that. These provocative movies that are coming from these talented African American women are pushing African American people are pushing the envelope on what horror is, because the horror is more not really like Jason horror. It's more psychological horror of like, this could actually happen.
That's the worst horror when it's in here,
in your head, and and Annabellum. I'm not going to give the whole synopsis, but all I can say is that when people can actually go back to slavery in present day, and you're not getting if you don't pay attention, you're going to think it's a time warp. But it's present day.
Yeah.
Somebody snatches you up and push you somewhere and says, yo, you nothing but the N-word, raping you, shooting you, doing as they want. And these are smart, brilliant people.
Right.
Just imagine, like, that thing blew my mind. And another, it's not a movie, but it's a series, Lovecraft Country. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country has blown. It's Jesse Smollett's sister in there, and this other gentleman, and they have embodied these characters. It is an amazing show. Check it out. It always talks about set intention, and I always tell people set intention every day. It talks about, it even takes us back to Tulsa, Black Wall Street, and I was like, I cried because I'm like, wow, this was us, the unity of the Black community. That was hard. It touched on so many different things that happened subliminally.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. So I'm really into a lot of these new Black creators that are doing some amazing stuff. They are thinking way beyond the box.
Yeah, you have to nowadays. You got to think, to be successful, you have to wrap yourself around some things, way out the box, to the left, to the right, in the middle, and you got to have a whole gamut of stuff, and a team to win. So
exactly,
you're pretty much right. Mo, you are phenomenal. I salute you. You're a serious veteran. You're a serious person of war and of progress for veterans, women alike. I appreciate you so much for being my friend. And it's great. This interview was great. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, I'm grateful to be your friend. I mean, shoot, we've done a bid together, man. I mean, shoot, yeah. It's a lot of people that's been in the industry with us, and a lot of people fell off. But when you get, like I said, if you get a good friend out there that's in this industry, because it could be ugly, hold on to them, because sometimes you can feel lonely in this industry. But when you get a good friend that you can share in the ups and downs, you hold on to it. And I'm grateful for you, man, because you have encouraged me, through the journey. We've encouraged each other. So I'm just grateful, man.
Man, we're going to do some more things with this book. We're going to look out for some other things too. And you never know, we might pop up on a TV screen or anything. So
never know. I'm just waiting because Hustle's about to be, the main man in some upcoming movies. So I'm putting it out there in the ether, in the universe. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sitting front row. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say.
I'm humble by that. Stop that. You're gonna make me blush. Right now it's all about you, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's Veterans Day. You're freaking awesome. And I love you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Love you too, cuz I just but how do you feel about, I feel like, like, I know we're not going to get political, but I just feel like our country is changing. We're evolving. Yeah. We're changing as a community. Mm-hmm. I think 2020 was a huge eye-opener for people. And I think self-discovery for all of us to figure out what's real, what's not, who we are, what can we do. We can push beyond what the regular norms are. Also, it showed us that a lot of the resources that they said they didn't have, they really did have.
They had a lot.
They have a lot of them. Exactly.
I think sometimes people forget, like, we live in the greatest country in the world, and sometimes people says it's a lot of fables and feebles that shouldn't be saying. So we have a lot of money out there, and I'm sure 2021 is going to be a great year, especially January 20th. I think
Yeah.
11:48.
That makes me laugh. That makes me laugh. But yeah,
11:48. Popcorn and licorice.
Exactly. I will be sitting front row for the season finale. But I also forgot to mention I was also in a small documentary film with a young man named Marcello Cosvalli, and he's out in Italy. They decided, they're filmmakers, and he decided that he wanted to do a clip at everybody at the same time in different countries globally. Wow. I thought it was something small. He wanted us to show the effects of COVID, do a poem, dance, or whatever to express ourselves during the time.
Nice.
And I thought it was something little. When I watched it, I was like, oh my God, okay, these are a lot of people.
Was you in your boogie on?
No, I just did like a quick little poem, and it's people from Italy, Spain, Korea, Vietnam, and it was beautiful just to see how no matter where we are, what we're going through, what color or race, we all share our feelings, and we're all the same people at the end of the day. You know, that's why I just don't really understand why we get so caught up in race, because it's only really our country, and it's sad but I feel like as we change and transition, I think we're realizing that, you know, we are the same. We really need to come together, because we can do more together than we can do apart.
Yep, and you know, it's easy to get frustrated and it's easy to call names, but if you think about the big picture, God runs us all. He's there for us to grab a hold of him and believe in him and love our brother and our neighbor. So we need to stop acting like a clown and get on board with the good fight and get in some good trouble. AKA, you know, Mr. John Lewis. We gonna go out and get into some good trouble.
Exactly.
And have some fun with it.
Rest in peace.
You know what I mean? So I think 2021 is gonna be a great year.
I'm ready. I'm front row seat for the season finale.
and it won't be no sequel neither.
No sequel.
No sequel to
that. We don't need a sequel.
Nah, we don't have a sequel. Your last words. Life may throw you a curveball, but remember, you're in charge of the direction it goes. And remember, God never left you. He was always there. It's all about you rediscovering it again. And you are more powerful than you think. And I love you, and thank you so much, Hustle, for allowing me to be here on your platform. You are doing amazing things, and I'm so grateful. Honor to you. We'll see you soon. Peace out.
Peace.
Tell it, boss.
Hustle man. Hustle man.